All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Tony North on Tech Talk Tony. And I'm here today with Marco. And Marco is going to be sharing some information with us and has some very exciting things to share today. But Marco, what's your role? What do you do here?
Yeah, thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure to have this talk with you. So, like Tony said, my name is Marko Simeonov. I am the CEO at AMATAS for about a couple of years now. And what do I do? Well, I'm trying to run a cybersecurity company. The very complex thing of managing a company in this very difficult environment of cybersecurity, the very complex environment of cybersecurity. We're trying to provide managed services to all of our clients in all kinds of different territories.
That's great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with me today and just to kind of get to know you. So, this is just a kind of get to know you situation. And matter of fact, at least there won't be any tough hiking today like we did at Snoqualmie Falls a few years back. And then I forced you to eat some, great American food. But
Yeah.
today we're
Tasty
actually
food.
tasty food. Good, good.
Sweet and tasty.
Sweet and tasty. That's right. That's right. But today we're actually here in Sofia, Bulgaria,
Yep.
and this is the home of Amatas.
Yep.
Okay.
So we have our main team of experts based here in Bulgaria. And as I already mentioned, we deliver our products worldwide. But our core is here. This is where we founded the company, and we have expanded in the past couple of years with small teams in different parts of the world.
Excellent. Excellent. That sounds like fun, but there could be some challenges, right?
A lot of challenges.
A lot of
definitely,
challenges. Okay.
definitely.
This is what makes the world go round, getting over those
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Luckily, I know that you're up for the task. I know that you work out regularly, and that's how I know you got up that mountain with us in Snoqualmie Pass.
Yes.
And so we're ready for some good questions today.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, we'll start off with the first one. Marcus, there's a lot of companies that do cybersecurity today. So, how would you say that you are different than everybody else?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. I often ask myself, how are we different? Because like you said, there are just so many other similar service providers in the field of cybersecurity. There's a lot of local companies with smaller teams, then there are these very big companies that are providing managed services pretty much all over the world, based in the US, based in Europe. But what makes us different is something we discussed with you actually the other day when we were talking was saying something that you've noticed now that you've visited us is first off, we try to have a very specific culture in terms of how we approach every single challenge we face and how do we respond to that challenge. So we try to build a culture within our company that is then in a sort of way exported when we actually deliver our services to our customers. We very much hold on to our core values, and we look into not only constantly recruiting new people, but actually making sure that these people stay with us for a long time and they have a lot to learn from what we do. Our approach has always been to look for the most senior and the top experts in the field that we can find. And then not only do they help us deliver our services, but they also train a lot of junior talent.
Nice.
And once we train them, we want to retain them because that's one of the biggest difficulties in our sector. And in this sense, what we do is we always provide different training programs. We have specific capability models that we build for each team on how to go on to the next level. And we always try to go into new services to partner with different products so that it's always interesting for what we do.
Right.
And this enthusiasm internally translates to what we do with our clients. Additionally, what we have always emphasized on is great customer service. This is connected to the first point, but for me, communication which happens properly internally, is absolutely crucial to having good communication with your clients and good customer service. And this is not simply saying the customer is always the king. No, that's good, but we also respect our team and what our team needs. This is saying that we always try to have great communication, great reporting, which is very crucial when it comes to these types of services. And even just delivering products, you need good reporting. You need to make it very clear for every single stakeholder. Because in many cases with cybersecurity, um, companies are talking to each other on this very high level expert knowledge or whatever, and it's very difficult, for example, for management in many cases to understand what's going on.
Right.
So then you're relying on that CISO, for example, that you're working with, on going and translating that to the CEO or whoever is C-level managing and making decisions. What we try to do is we always make sure that we can talk to anyone and that our reports are basically structured in a way that it's comprehensive for everyone.
Right.
And, like I already mentioned, additionally, we always try to identify what is the next big trend. We do this mostly with Boris, who is our chief technology officer at AMATAS. And what we do is we always try to identify the next big trend, not simply because we want to be trendy ourselves and we want to have trendy marketing,
Right.
but simply because we want to anticipate what's going to come in the next couple of years. Is it going to be from a regulatory standpoint? Right. Is it going to be from a standpoint of different products and technologies that are going to emerge? Or what are these threat actors and hackers and malicious actors overall planning?
Right.
And if we have that already identified in some way, you can never be sure, but in some way, if you have that already identified, then from that point on, we can always be different from our competitors because we're always looking into moving on to the next service. We're not satisfied with the current status quo.
Right.
And we're not just looking to build huge volumes of customers for a specific service that doesn't evolve.
Right.
We're always looking at what's the next thing.
Right.
So I believe that overall, I would say that these are some of the general things that make us different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's enough.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess that's what I could say at this point.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I have to concur. Since I've been here, there are a couple of things that kind of stuck out. One, I even heard this when I was, back in Bellevue with Boris speaking last year, which is, I think if I heard this correctly, your company doesn't just invest in its people, but you also make sure people are healthy, right?
Yes.
With a doctor on staff occasionally
Yes.
to make sure that they get their needs.
Yes.
And is it true you guys took the whole team out for a hike and in a situation where somebody got hurt and you had to figure out how to get? Tell me about that. That actually is very unique. I love that.
That was very fun. So like you mentioned, everything related to our health, and I mean our whole teams, is that this is a part of our values that I already mentioned.
Nice.
We have group-wide values because AMATAS is a part of Ocean Investments, where one of them, like you mentioned, is having great health, being able to eat healthy, work out, and be in a good physical shape, because we all know that this is extremely important.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that everyone who is a part of our company is not simply there to work, but that they also feel good mentally and physically, because this is essential to then delivering properly and being a very essential and healthy part of a team. So when we did that hike, this is actually one of the many things we've done, is we try to put our teams into different situations. We see how they respond, and we want to make sure that they learn something useful from that. And I don't know if Boris told you about this, but actually a couple of months ago we had another sort of let's say expedition type of activity where again it was a hike which we finished off with some cold showers and cold baths into literally ice water.
Wow,
So
wow.
that was another mental challenge for many people.
Right.
And what we realized was that unfortunately a large amount of our team didn't even know how to swim. So
Okay.
now we're thinking, okay, how do we help these people out? Because we want them to develop even these qualities. You know, this is outside of work.
Yes.
But once you start working on yourself, you work on having a strong mind, strong body, and you can be a healthy part of a team.
Wonderful. Mind, body, and soul. I love that.
Yes, exactly.
Matter of fact, so we're going to go to the next question, but I can tell you, audience, this is true because I get here on Saturday, and on Sunday morning, Boris picked me up, and we went to the gym, and he worked me out. I mean, we did, but I feel great. My body's still hurting today, but I saw your dad in there with us. So it's not just a thing. It is actually a culture from the top down, and I applaud you. That's wonderful. Mind, body, and soul.